Okay, hi, my name is Jennifer Turney. I'm doing this on chapter 7 of our book, and I chose the section of prostitution as public health problem. I chose this because of the social epidemic that prostitution brings. I picked this specific quote from the book to show where it has gone, where our morals in this culture, or in this culture of prostitution, has gone. This says prostitution is an issue which has caused controversy cross-culturally, historically, and has many individuals re-examining the logistics of it. If prostitution is decriminalized, it will become economically profitable and feasible not only for the prostitutes, but also Western society as a whole. Now, when I read this really kind of hit me. Like, this is where it's going. Not only are we choosing, or is the possibility of capitalization on prostitution, but legalizing it for for profit. I mean, this is the oldest profession for women ever. And this sort of incomprehensible demoralization that they could choose to turn as a profit, it just really goes against what I believe. And I would hope that the majority of us have been taught as immoral. Now, we can't say what's caused a lot of these teenagers and these women and these kids specifically, because there's a multitude of different things. The fact that the majority of them start out as teenagers because they left home, there was problems. A lot of them were molested, raped at a really young age, ran away, and got into drugs, and then as a result needed money. And so I'll show you some statistics over here. The sex of prostitution is physically harmful to women, and STDs include HIV, AIDS, chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, HPV, and syphilis are alarmingly high among women in prostitution. So the majority of people sort of think that HIV is the only thing that they could get from prostitutes. It seems like that's the only thing that we generally compare that sort of disease with the epidemic. I mean, anyone can get sick from chlamydia or gonorrhea. I mean, HPV causes cancer. So not only are these women passing around different, staph infections, bacterial infections, and they don't tend to go to the doctor. So these men are sleeping with the women, and they're taking it home, or vice versa. The blame seems to have shifted from men to women. And, both parties are responsible. The oppressed people are targeted first. The younger people, the oppressed people who can't afford insurance, can't afford to go to the doctor. And instead of punishment, we should be teaching these people how to prevent it. Education on both sides, public knowledge, awareness, and it has gone from, it has taken a huge turn for the worse, and these people transmit more than just STDs, hepatitis C, and then these are passed on to mothers and children. I mean, herpes is passed on to a woman who passes it on to her child. So a lot of these people do not realize the residual effects from, a 15-minute encounter. The emotional health and consequences include severe trauma, stress, depression, anxiety, and self-medication through alcohol and drug abuse, and even eating disorders. There was a study done, and 68.7% of prostitutes were addicts. And that's just in a couple different areas. It was an average. Okay, I'm going to show you a little video real quick and show you just what is possible starting out as a teenager.
I'm 35 years old, and I'm a prostitute here in Oklahoma City on the street of Robinson, South Robinson. And I've been a prostitute since I was 12 years old. And I have recently been informed that I have contracted the HIV virus. If there is anyone out there that has any doubts, any speculations about prostitution, the glamour, the glitter, oh yeah, on TV, Hollywood Boulevard looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of money. I make $500-600 a day, but how many people am I infecting? How many people am I making sick? How many people care? How many men are taking HIV home to their wives? How many people are taking hepatitis C home to their wives? Yes, I'm infected with both. I'm dying and no one cares but me. And I want any young girl out there, any human being, and the police, I don't give a shit right about now, to know. Please be tested. Please go to the clinic. I fucked my own life up. I found out I was HIV positive because I took a damn AIDS test, spur of the moment bullshit, because I didn't think I had anything. And a man in a white car with a little blue badge on the side came out and talked to me, and but he explained to me that I had tested positive, reactive for the HIV virus, which is human blah 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 virus. And I said, AIDS? Is that what you're talking about, AIDS? And he said, yeah. So I went and tested again, and it was positive too. So I have HIV. That's how it goes. I'm gonna die of AIDS. I'm gonna die of AIDS. And my kid will never know me. And I'll be a nothing. I'm gonna die of AIDS.
That's just one of the clips that I watched while doing my research on this, and it was pretty sad to watch. One of the studies that I had read said that they're on average, a crack addict goes through 62 different partners a month. 62 a month. And 68.7% of these prostitutes were addicts. A lot of them started out, like she said, 12 years old. You know, they run away from home. They find a way to make quick money. Then they feel horrible about what they're doing. They start doing drugs. And then once they get into the drugs, then it turns into sex for drugs, no longer sex for money. And it's just a cycle that it doesn't seem like we have a whole lot of prevention for. Like I said earlier, education for both men and women, including those working and their Johns. Prevention, not punishment. I mean, these women get arrested, you know, they're out the next day on bail. They go right back to what they're doing to make the money to pay for it. There is no sort of system set up for the prevention of prostitution, because it's prostitution and the acts thereof that are spreading HIV, spreading different viruses. In some areas that have had more prevention, studies have shown that it's actually gone down. So this sort of mobile testing, another research video that I did showed this lady that they had a bus. They went out and gave out free condoms, free tests right there. Generally, these people do not go into the doctor thinking, I'm going to go get an AIDS test or an HIV test. So mobile testing seems to be a very effective way to bring awareness to these people out on the streets. And in that in that, you can also educate those that are out there. A lot of them don't know what the long-term effects. They've never been educated on it. Treatment for drug addiction. If we can sort of implement some sort of program that helps these women get back on their feet, learn that there's different ways. They don't have to do this for the rest of their life. Sort of psychologically reassess them to think that good hard work and money is better than turning tricks because of what happens in the long run. This young girl was a prime example, 35 years old. She's been a prostitute for 23 years. And she's going to die. Public awareness, which we talked about, probationary education and completion. You know, give them incentives for completing a program and getting a job and getting out into the actual society and staying away from the social epidemic. Community involvement and awareness. These places, seems to be delegated areas in a community that are high crime areas, high prostitution, high drugs. Community involvement and awareness in those areas. I saw this one a couple of times. It was removing government assistance. I had conflicted feelings about it due to the fact that if we remove government assistance from some of these people, will they just go out there more and have to do this more? Will it steer them away from trying to get help? I did like the idea of curfew for those that were on maybe the probationary period, or if there was something implemented in place, or if they prior arrest for it. And job placement. I mean, we put convicted felons and rapists and murderers that get out on parole back on the streets and place them. Why can't we place these prostitutes? I think the fact is that we've gone from taking an active role once, you know, the 80s came out and AIDS became big, to sort of turning the other way now and thinking that it won't happen to us. When this is not a judiciary issue. This is not a legal issue. This will not be solved legally. This is a social issue that needs to start from the root of the problem, from the heart of the problem, to be able to branch out into the communities and start bringing the numbers for these things down. Thanks for listening.